Today I will be trying to predict the shiny colors of the starter Pokemon from the upcoming Pokemon Violet and Scarlet games. Yo, what is up you guys? It's Dominator here and I'm back with another Pokemon video. This one's a little different. I've wanted to do a video like this for a long time, but I never really understood Photoshop until recently, and even then when new Pokemon got released, I kind of just forgot to do this. But what we're going to do today is we are going to try to predict what the shiny starters will look like from Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. Now, if you don't know, Generation 9 is coming at the end of the year, probably in November, and we got revealed the starter Pokemon. We got Sprinkigito, Fue Coco, and Quacksley, and they're pretty cool. I think my favorite right now is probably Fue Coco. It's between that and Quacksley. Like, I think Quaxley's kind of goofy. I definitely think Fue Coco has the most potential to be cool in a final evolution. But we're not worried about the evolutions right now. We're worried about the shiny forms, what they're going to look like. Now, at the time we're recording this, I haven't seen anyone do this yet. So the only thing I have to go off of is what past shinies have looked like and what my personal preferences look like. We're going to try to predict the shiny colors of the three starters. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm trying to do a more realistic approach of what I think these starters will look like. I do throw in a couple crazy ones here and there what I think will look really cool, but for the most part, even though like the sky's the limit of what I could have done with these, and it was really fun to design these, but I kind of wanted to keep it in a more realistic realm of possibilities. If you guys do enjoy this type of video, make sure you leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. We're actually getting pretty close to 9,000 subscribers now, so thank you guys so much for all the support. And yeah, I mean, it was really fun to design these shinies, so I might do it for the future Pokemon that are going to be revealed for Violet and Scarlet. Alright, starting this off, we got Sprinkigito. It is the grass cat. I forget what it actually is in the Pokedex, but it's the grass starter. It's a cat. There's a lot of cats in Pokemon. And yeah, let me just quickly show you what it looks like. It looks like it's green. It's got a lighter shade of green for its skin tone, and then it has the pink eyes and nose. When I designed this shiny, I didn't want to do really weird adjustments like the mouth, so that's going to remain the same throughout all of them, but I did change the color of the skin tone, the darker green part on it, and then the eyes and the nose. So for the first one, I decided to make it kind of like a reverse of what it already is, where the skin tone is more of the reddish color and the eyes and nose are green, as opposed to vice versa. But I figured it was kind of like a cool, almost like an autumny kind of color. I feel like that's used a lot in a lot of grass Pokemon, so we did the reddish color, and then I didn't want to make it too ridiculous red, so it's more of like a whitish red color for the skin tone, and then I wanted to make the eyes and nose green because it kind of reminded me of shiny Celebi in that regard. I think this one's pretty cool. I do have a favorite one going forward, but this one was just my first thought on what they could do with the shiny, so there is my first shiny Sprinkigito. The second one I wanted to do, and honestly, I like this one more than I thought I would, but if you look at past starters, especially Grookey, if you look at Grookey's shiny, it's not like the greatest shiny, it's just kind of lighter. There's a lot of grass Pokemon that just get kind of a shader, or a lighter shade of green, and I wanted to do that with Sprinkigito. I did a lighter shade of green, and then I made the eyes kind of an orangish color, and I actually think that really brings it together, the orange and light green. It's very summery, and I do enjoy that color scheme. It's probably not my favorite one, but I can definitely see this being a possibility for the shiny Sprinkigito. Next up, we have another kind of autumnish color. It's more of a brownish orange, and then I left the eyes and nose the same, but for the most part, it just turns into more of like a dead leaf color, or just autumn color. And it's not as crazy red as the last one. The last one was more of like a pinkish red. This one's more of like an orangish brown color, and this one I think looks better than the red one in my opinion. I do enjoy red shinies, but I think this one works better with Sprinkigito, and it's a lot more natural of a color scheme I could see with this Pokemon being shiny, and yeah, I think it actually looks pretty good. So there's my third Sprinkigito shiny color. For the next color scheme for shiny Sprinkigito, I decided to go out of the realm of possibilities. In my opinion, I can't see them doing this, but this I think is just a really cool color scheme that I kind of just found out while I was doing this. But I was thinking shiny Rowlet colors, but not the same as shiny Rowlet. So this one I have, it's a little more of a bluish color, but it does have that tealish. I know Rowlet's more of a green color, but I do like this bluish teal color. And then I had to make the eyes orange because it's a complementary color and I think it looks really good with it. And then I made the skin tone kind of white, which I think looks so sick. Like, this would be my ideal shiny Sprinkigito. That being said, I really can't see them doing this. This doesn't really fit the Pokemon that well, but I think it looks really cool in my opinion. Like, and you know me, I love my blue shinies, but I didn't want to go overboard with blue, so we did just a off blue, more of like a greenish blue. It's more on the bluer side than the green side, but it is like a tealish blue, and then I made the skin tone white, which I think is really cool. For the final color I used for Sprinkigito, I decided to make it just ridiculous. We made the skin orange, and then we made the off parts black, and then we made the eyes kind of a yellowish orange color, and I pretty much did this to make it look like a tiger because it's a cat, and I thought it would be funny. So this one's definitely not gonna be the color of shiny Sprinkigito. If it is, I will be completely shocked, but it would be hilarious if it was. This isn't even my favorite color of what I've made for the options. I was just like, you know what, let's make it look like a tiger because that would be interesting. And you know, it's not terrible, but it's a bit much for this Pokemon. So there are my shiny Sprinkigito colors. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, which one of those is your favorite. And also let me know if you have any different ideas for shiny Sprinkigito. Let me know what you would choose for the shiny colors for it. So let's move on to shiny Fue Coco. Now, shiny Fue Coco was a lot harder of a Pokemon to change the colors of because there's actually a lot more colors in Fue Coco than Sprinkigito or Quacksley, so it was a lot different. There were a lot more possibilities of what I could add. I had to have a lot more different shiny colors just because there were some I just couldn't decide looked better or not. We got Fue Coco here. He's red and like an off-white and yellow. So Fue Coco, in my opinion, looks kind of like a chili pepper. I know he's a crocodile, but like the red and the little like sprig coming out of his head, it kind of looks like a chili pepper to me. So my first thought was to make it look like a jalapeno pepper. So I changed the skin tone to like a yellowish green color. I made the eyes and the claws a yellowish gold color, and then I made the other yellow bits just a darker green to make it more of like a peppery color. And I think this one might be my favorite one, despite it being the first one. I think it's a really obvious choice. That being said, I know there's a lot of people who think it looks like an apple too. Like, that could be the case. I can't see why a fire type would be an apple, but I think it looks like a chili pepper. You could also argue it's like a Granny Smith apple, but I don't know. And it also looks like an alligator, even though I think he's supposed to be a crocodile, so that doesn't really add up. But I think this looks really cool for shiny Fue Coco. It's kind of not a traditional color you would see a fire type starter, like green, like that looks like a grass type. But I think it'd be really interesting if they did this. Moving on, we got the next two options. I don't know why I had this idea in my head, but I feel like Fue Coco could work well as a shiny purple Pokemon, and I wanted to give it this deep purple color, and then for the yellow accents, I gave it red accents, like a deep red, and I think that looked really cool. But then I also had the idea of making it blue accents instead, and I couldn't decide which one I liked more, so I have the red and the blue. Let me know what you guys think is a little better, but I do think there's a possibility this thing could be purple, especially if, you know, if it evolves and it is a pepper, it could be a ghost type ghost pepper, and I think that would look really cool as a ghost type shiny as a purple. So maybe that's why I had that idea, but I don't know. I think it looks really cool as the purple alligator, or purple crocodile. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, if you like the red accents or the blue accents more on it. I couldn't really decide, so I just threw both of them in. For my next color scheme for shiny Fue Coco, I kind of did the more subtle approach. It's not really subtle, but it doesn't change too much. I was getting vibes from Score Bunny, where it goes from like a reddish color to a more lighter orange color. So I did that with Fue Coco, and I pretty much only changed the main skin tone from red to orange, and I think that looked pretty good. Like, I didn't know what else to do with it without it looking a little too ridiculous. And honestly, Game Freak in recent games, when they started designing shiny Pokemon, they have been doing a lot of tropes where they just change one color of the shiny and call it a day. Some of them I think look really good, some of them not so much, but this would fall in line to one of those if it just changed the red to orange and nothing else. But I don't think this looks bad at all, actually, and this would I think this would be a really good option for shiny Fue Coco, but a bit of the more like safer approaches, but like let's be real, I would be really happy if I got any of these shinies correct. In fact, going completely off topic, before I recorded stuff like this, because this is actually my first time doing this, I accurately predicted the shiny colors of shiny Galarian Zigzagoon. However, I predicted them in the wrong spots. Now, if you look at shiny Galarian Zigzagoon, it's red and white stripes, and its tongue, and I think its eyes and claws are blue too. It's got blue in it. I predicted it was going to be red and blue stripes, and pretty much the exact same color scheme. Now, I don't have evidence for this, so you can't really go off my word. But for the most part, I was kind of impressed that I got the colors correct, just in the wrong spots, except for the red. I got that pretty spot on, but yeah, it would be really cool to have video evidence that I get these correct, so I did want to do some safer approaches on this, so that's why I just did the orange color for Fue Coco, and I think it actually looks pretty good. So moving on, this is probably one of the coolest shiny colors I picked for Fue Coco. I did a deeper red color because I think Game Freak does like to do a lot of similar color shinies that are different shades, and sometimes I think they look really good. I think Fue Coco rocks this. I added the touch of blue on the accents, which it does kind of remind me of the shiny Galarian Zigzagoon line, so I did change it a bit. I have two options for this. I do have one where it's more of a brighter yellow instead of the lighter yellow for the accents, and I think both of them look really good. Obviously, if you were going off of my opinion, I would choose the more blue accents because I think that looks insane, and this one's probably my favorite one. I don't know, man. The jalapeno one looks pretty cool. I'd be happy if any of these were the actual shiny colors. Yeah, I think this one also looked really cool. And then on top of that, I decided to go a more crazy approach. And for my last one, I made it like a teal green color, kind of thinking of alligator vibes. And then I gave the accents red and also blue for the eyes and the claws. And I think this one also looks really cool, but it's getting a bit ridiculous, so I think the last one I chose with just the red and blue was a lot better, so this one's a little ridiculous. And then I did originally have it where it was just the teal and blue, but I thought it looked a little too much like shiny Totodile, so we kind of scrapped that part. But yeah, those are my shiny Fue Cocos. Let me know what you guys think about those ones, and also if you guys have any other suggestions for shiny Pokemon predictions, let me know. We'll see if any of us are correct. And yeah, let's move on to Quacksley. Now, I'm gonna be real. Quacksley was probably the least exciting one to design just because I can't see them changing the skin color for it. Like, I think it's gonna stay white. Like, that is just my ultimate prediction. I think it's gonna stay white. We have regular Quacksley here. It's got the white, blue, the yellow bill, and it's, you know, pretty standard. I actually do like Quacksley. He looks like a sergeant duck, and I think that's kind of funny. But for the shiny colors, I don't have as many options for this one just because it got to the point where it was just like, we'll change this to this color or this color or this color. So it was like, it didn't really matter. I kind of wanted to put more creativity in it instead of just changing one color over and over again. So there are not as many options for shiny Quacksley. But to start off, and this is probably my favorite one, it's kind of a subtle shiny, but I think it works really well. You have the orange bill on shiny Quacksley. I think I kept the eyes the same, and then the more bluish part for the feet and the hair, I guess. Is that hair or is that hat? I'm not sure what it is yet. But I made it more of a teal color instead of blue. It is already kind of on the teal side, but I made it more green as opposed to what it normally is. And then I think it works really well with the orange bill. And then I also made the skin tone just a slight off-white. It was like a 50-50 if I kept the white the same or made it off-white, but I thought the off-white looked good, so we kept it like that. And I do really enjoy this shiny, and it would be really cool if this was the shiny for Quacksley. Then for the next one, I decided to make it more of a deeper blue on the head and feet, and then I made the skin color just a slightly pink color, and then I kept the bill the same as the last one because I just think the orange looks really good as the bell. I don't know what you would change with that besides keeping it yellow or making it orange, because I think if you went farther than that, it would get a little too ridiculous. So that's what I'm doing for shiny Quacksley, and that's my second option. This one I also think is pretty cool too. It reminds me of shiny Poplio or shiny Oshawott, kind of. I know they're totally different, but just similar vibes from them. And then I guess it's kind of like shiny Ralts too with like the pinkish skin. So there's that. And then I got a little bit ridiculous with this next one. I had to make one look like just a rubber duck color, so we made it all yellow, and then we kept the beak orange. I think I made this one a little more orange, like brighter orange, darker orange than the last few, just to really make it more noticeable. And I did make the feet and hat part. I don't know, is it hat or hair? We're gonna keep alternating, so bear with me on that. We made the hat part just like a more bronzish yellow. It's just a little darker, just so it didn't look exactly like the skin tone. And honestly, this was getting a bit ridiculous. Oh, I also made the eyes black, but just pure black. But it was getting a bit ridiculous, but I don't think this looks that bad, honestly. Like, I definitely don't think, out of all the options I've had, I definitely think this is the worst one so far, but I don't think it's entirely that bad. I just wanted to make one look like a rubber duck, so yep, there's my rubber duck Quacksley. And then the last one, I pretty much just made it green, and I only changed the eyes and then the feet and the hair part, so just green. I feel like this could also be a possibility. I don't know why I made a lot of these green, but I feel like this one's probably the least likely to happen as opposed to the other two starters being green, but I figured I'd throw it out there. I figured like purple wouldn't look too great on this. I didn't think pink would look too great on this, so I thought green looked fine, and then I'm leaning more towards the blue and the yellow. So those are my thoughts on the shiny starters. Out of all of these, I will say my first shiny Quacksley I made is pretty good. I'm definitely a huge fan of my red and tealish Fue Coco, and then my jalapeno Fue Coco. Those are probably my two favorites of all of them. And then obviously my white and bluish green Sprinkigito I think is pretty cool. But those are my favorites. I will probably list all of them on screen now just so you can look at all of them at once, but including the regular ones. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you guys thought about this kind of video, designing shinies, trying to predict the shinies of the future Pokemon. And if you guys leave a like on the video, comment below if you did enjoy this. I might do it for the other Pokemon that have yet to be revealed for Violet and Scarlet, because let's be real, there's going to be probably quite a few Pokemon to be revealed before the games come out in November. And yeah, that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring those notification bells, all that good stuff. Be sure to join the domination, and I will see you in the next video.